Hello and namaskar. You're watching Enviro Annotations productions on YouTube. Public hearing is an integral part of EIA process. The purpose is to bring out the opinion of the public regarding a proposed project and its implications. Public hearings are mandatorily required for a range of projects that have been specified in the EIA notification 2006. The public hearing process provides the only democratic space for voicing concerns by the public on environmental implications of a proposed project. Today, I am talking about a decision taken in the 18th meeting of the Expert Appraisal Committee, EAC, for coal mining project held on 27th November 2024. According to the EAC document dated 9th December 2024, public hearing was conducted on 24th April 2024 at a project site of Bhivkund coal mine project proposed by Sunflag Iron and Steel Company Limited. It is said that 157 people attended the public hearing. However, the report lists 159 participants. The EAC's MOM states that the major concerns raised during the public hearing were concerns related to depletion of water table, provision of potable water, control of environmental pollution, discharge of acidified mine water containing heavy metals, land acquisition, presence of various wild animals like bear, tiger, deer, etc., employment to local, and damage to crops due to transportation of coal. Most of the photographs in this video are not directly linked to the matter being deliberated. I am highlighting some questions documented by the EAC. The video is going to be long. Please bear with me and watch the video till end. The video topic is highly unusual and such occurrences are rarely brought to attention. Rajesh Bele, President of Sanjeevani Paryavaran Samajik Sanstha, Chandrapur, leveled scathing allegations, and this is all about the document of the Expert Appraisal Committee. So Rajesh Bele leveled scathing allegations against Sunflag Iron and Steel Company over the integrity of the Environmental Impact Assessment Report, EIA report. Bele asserted that the report is a blatant copy-paste of submissions previously made for Bellora and WCL, probably Western Coalfields Limited, projects, branding it as a fraudulent and misleading report. Sunflag countered this claim, stating that the Bhivkund coal mine EIA report was independently prepared by an ABET-accredited consultant and not copied. But who verified the allegation or the counter? Further, Bele raised another significant concern over the lack of accessibility for local communities, emphasizing the need for EIA reports to be published in vernacular languages, akin to the Supreme Court's recent push for regional language judgments, as most locals are not proficient in English. Now, this is going to be a huge matter. Anyway, Rajesh Bele further highlighted the dire plight of residents near Sunflag's Belgaon underground mine who are reportedly suffering from severe health issues due to water pollution. Sunflag shifted blame to Dongargaon fluorite mine operated by the Maharashtra State Mining Corporation Limited. But what I found is an absence of the significant health data in the EIA report to validate the claims by the project proponent. There is no baseline health data, which is essential as per the terms of reference. Chandrapur already is infamous as one of the most polluted districts in India, and it faces imminent environmental collapse with the proposed underground mine exacerbating air and water pollution, depleting groundwater levels, and releasing acidified mine water laden with heavy metals like iron and zinc, causing sterility in surrounding agricultural fields. Rajesh Bele also revealed that the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board had imposed penalties on Sunflag, including the forfeiture of a 10 lakh rupees bank guarantee for non-compliance. Despite repeated appeals to the district collector and the Pollution Control Board, Belay criticized the authorities for their inaction against industries flagrantly violating environmental and public health standards. He accused Sunflag of deliberately misleading villagers with falsified documentation while responding to allegations with vague and evasive statements. I'm reading all these individuals' statements extracted from the EIA documents placed on the Paribesh portal because I didn't find any such coverages on internet. The next one, Suresh Pandilwar, a resident of Visapur, voiced strong opposition to the proposed underground coal mining project, citing a range of environmental, social and health concerns. He pointed out that while the project proponent plans to acquire only 10 hectares of land, the mining activities will inevitably impact areas far beyond this limit, disrupting the lives and livelihoods of local villagers. Pandilwar warned that the underground mining operations would deplete groundwater levels, drying up rivers, lakes and wells, and causing severe water scarcity that would directly affect farming in the region. Pandilwar expressed concerns over the transportation of excavated coal, which he said would damage roadside crops and negatively impact villagers living along transport routes. Pandilwar also highlighted the risks posed by the excavation of radioactive and toxic metals such as mercury, arsenic, barium, cadmium, nickel, and lead. These hazardous substances, he cautioned, could contaminate water sources and pose severe health risks to humans and animals alike. The blasting activities associated with the project are another major concern, as they are likely to damage nearby homes and disrupt the lives of residents. Pandilwar criticized the company's biodiversity assessment, asserting that despite the project's claims of no wild animals in the area, the region is home to various species that would be adversely affected. Furthermore, he alleged that the project proponent has proceeded without engaging or gaining consent of the local villagers, despite a Gram Panchayat resolution explicitly opposing the entry of private companies for such projects. Pandilwar affirmed his steadfast opposition to the underground coal mining project and urged the authorities to prioritize the concerns and well-being of the affected communities. Another resident of Visapur, Mulchandani, has strongly opposed the proposed underground mine project, citing its potential to escalate pollution levels in the area. He emphasized that permission for mine should be withheld unless every farmer within the affected area of 802 hectares is adequately compensated. His objections were echoed by Pratibha Dhanorkar, a Lok Sabha election candidate, and MLA Advale, who have also raised concerns about the project's adverse impacts. Mulchandani urged the regional officer of the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board to address not only the pollution stemming from Sunflag's operations but also the long-standing pollution issues in Ballarpur city. He called for stringent control measures to mitigate pollution levels and protect the health and livelihoods of the affected communities. Mulchandani also warned that coal excavation over the proposed 802 hectares would deplete groundwater levels and significantly harm agricultural fields, exacerbating environmental and socio-economic changes in the region. Devanand Sankar Sende, a resident of Nandgaon, has raised serious objections to the proposed underground mining project, citing its detrimental effects on wildlife, water resources, and flood risks. Sende refuted the company's claims that the project area is devoid of wildlife, asserting that species such as bears, tigers, and deer are present in the region and will face significant threats due to mining activities. He also expressed concerns about the potential for flooding, highlighting that the company has failed to provide any information on measures to address this risk. Shende further criticized the lack of clarity on groundwater management. While the company claims that mine water will be reused for dust separation, it has not outlined any concrete steps to mitigate groundwater depletion, which would severely impact wells, tube wells, and local water sources. Given these unresolved issues, Sende, representing the Nandgaon Phode village, firmly opposed the project and called for the authorities to prioritize the protection of the environment and local compensation. Samir Adbale, president of Gram Seva Samiti, Nandgaon Phode, has dismissed the company's claims of preventing air water as totally false, urging the regional officer concerned of the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board to take immediate action to address the escalating pollution levels in Chandrapur. Adding to the criticism, Sandeep Gire, district president of Shiv Sena UBT Chandrapur, has raised concerns over the unresolved pollution issues caused by the Ballapur paper mill. He stated that the mill continues to emit a sharp, pungent odor that is affecting the residents of Chandrapur city, highlighting the persistent environmental challenges in the region. Gire asked authorities to take immediate and effective measures to address the long-standing problem and ensure the well-being of city's residents. Now, this statement has a significance to the baseline air quality and water quality assessment in the project. Nitin Bhatarkar, district president of the Nationalist Congress Party (NCP) Chandrapur, raised concerns over the depleting groundwater across the 802-hectare area affected by the proposed project. He further warned that the mining activities would damage the riverbed of the Wardha River, severely impacting farmers who rely on it for irrigation. Bhatarkar voiced strong opposition to the underground mining project, instead advocating for an open-cast coal mining alternative to the provisions for fourfold compensation for landowners affected by the project. Advocate Prashant Garote of Bharatiya Janata Party Chandrapur has voiced staunch opposition to the proposed underground mining project, aligning with the concerns raised by various stakeholders. He emphasized that agricultural fields affected by the project and issues surrounding land acquisition must be addressed comprehensively. Garote called for the Pollution Control Board to fulfill its duty to resolve environmental issues, highlighting the severe impact the project will have on irrigated areas and agricultural yields. He suggested that an open-cast coal mining project would be a more viable alternative and insisted that land acquisition should be handled by WCL, Western Coalfields Limited, rather than private entity. He further proposed that tree plantation contracts be awarded to Maharashtra's Forest Department to generate local employment. Manohar Gohkar, a former Jilla Parishad member and a BJP leader, echoed Garote's concerns, particularly regarding environmental protections. He noted that existing open-cast and underground projects in the area have already led to significant pollution, which must be taken into account. Gohkar also pointed out that while treated mine water is discharged by WCL, it remains unsuitable for drinking, underscoring the need of stringent environmental and water management measures. Sandeep Pode, a BJP worker from Visapur, criticized the company's lack of transparency and consultation with local community. He alleged that the company bypassed the Gram Sabha and directly contacted the Gram Panchayat, leaving villagers and farmers uninformed about the discussions. Pode expressed concerns over the generation of large quantities of mine water and the resultant pollution, warning of severe groundwater depletion and looming water scarcity in the region. Manjusa Narendra Tonge, a resident of Visapur, expressed strong opposition to the project, drawing from her first-hand experience with the operational WCL mine in her native village. She highlighted that the WCL mine has already caused significant drinking water shortages in her area, and she fears the same dire consequences will arise from this project. However, Sunflag made an unsubstantiated claim that drinking water issues will not occur, pointing out the lack of scientific evidence to support this assertion. The company further proposed a contingency plan to supply drinking water through tankers to affected villages. Here, anyone may ask whether the EIA EMP is based on these perceptions. Will this approach not harm the broader water environment of neighboring communities? Narendra Tonge, president of Mahantagiri Agro Farmer Producers Company, Chandrapur, has raised objections to the proposed mining project, highlighting its detrimental impact on agriculture. Tonge, who relies on farming for his livelihood, stated that agricultural crops in the region would be severely damaged, leading to reduced harvests and economic losses for farmers. He opposed the project on these grounds. Vishal Namdev Garode, a resident of Visapur, also voiced a strong opposition to the project, citing its adverse impact on agriculture, wildlife and water resources. Garode, who owns land adjacent to the project site, expressed concerns that agricultural fields would be irreparably damaged, jeopardizing the livelihoods of local farmers. He pointed out that the company has not taken ownership of the land earmarked for the public hearing, raising procedural questions about the legitimacy of the process. Garode challenged the company's claim that no wild animals inhabit in the area, emphasizing the presence of species such as bears, tigers, and deer, which would face serious threats due to the project. Additionally, he raised alarms about groundwater depletion, stating that underground mining would dry up rivers, lakes, and wells, exacerbating water scarcity in the region and adversely impacting farming activities. The company, however, responded by asserting that only 9.09 hectares of surface land would be affected and that purchasing land for the public hearing is not mandatory. It further claimed that the project's impact on fauna was documented in the EIA report, with a conservation plan in place to address water concerns. The company proposed rainwater harvesting systems and regular groundwater monitoring in Visapur and Nandgaon Pode, while assuring potable water supply through tankers if necessary. So, again a question whether the EIA has considered the impact on water environment due to tanker supply from a particular source and impact on air environment due to tanker movement, and whether the expert appraisal committee has pondered on these points. Goshavi Sadapur Dahule, another resident of Vizapur, also opposed the project, citing concerns over its potential to significantly increase pollution levels in the village. Dahule emphasized that the escalation in pollution would primarily impact the health and well-being of local villagers, thereby making the project untenable. In response, Sunflag stated that it would implement mitigation measures outlined in the EIA report to control air and water pollution. But that's the question, whether the EIA report or the EIA is that appropriate. Collectively, leaders from various political parties, NGOs, advocates have called for a reconsideration of the project, advocating for greater accountability, community engagement, and alternative approaches to safeguard the environment, agriculture, and livelihoods of the affected populations. Now, your serious attention, please. It is said in the expert committee's document that 1561 written representations were received, out of which 1012 representations were in favor of the project. But where are the copies? Any link given to the online copies of written representations claimed to have received from 1561 people, out of which 1012 representations were in favor of the project? Now, let me take you to a proposal for expansion of Coromandel Sugars Limited, a Karnataka-based sugar mill and distillery project. It met with significant local opposition. A public hearing for the project conducted by the Karnataka State Pollution Control Board on 6th March 2024 saw a remarkable turnout of 952 attendees, out of which 22 individuals spoke out against the project, expressing strong objections that highlighted environmental concerns and the potential adverse impacts on the local communities. Despite the project proponents' claim that some individuals with vested interests had created mob-like situation towards the end of the hearing, the overwhelming sentiments against the project raise important questions about its long-term viability in the region. In the light of strong opposition, the Expert Appraisal Committee concerned, it was for appraisal of industry two-sector projects. The EAC noted that the proposal had garnered significant public dissent. While the EAC acknowledged the presence of people with vested interests during the public hearing, it recommended that the ministry obtain a complete set of public hearing documents including video recordings from KSPCB for a clear understanding of the situation. This, along with the suggestion to invite the convener of the public hearing for an appraisal, underscores the need for transparency and clarity in the evaluation of such a large-scale project. In a rare instance, the EAC deferred the project. But what happened in this case? The EAC for the coal mining sector approved the project, so it is indispensable and justified to ask whether the EAC verified those 1561 people, out of which 1012 representations were in favor of the project, and why is it not enclosed in the public hearing document uploaded on the Parives portal? So that's all in this episode. Thank you very much for your attention.